You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take a sip of you, baby, I'm swerving from left to right. Left to right. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take two more shots, you know I'm swerving from left to right. All night. Would you call me old fashioned if I kiss you in the rain in Manhattan? Oh, I can't wait until my lips are on yours. I can't help the way that I'm feeling. The way you look tonight is so appealing. Hold up, I need to pace myself. You're the bullet to my heart, I swear. I swear. Only took one shot. Only took one shot. The only thing I'll promise is I'll give you all I've got. Oh. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take a sip of you, baby, I'm swerving from left to right. Left to right. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take two more shots, you know I'm swerving from left to right.
Yeah, look, alright. Now pretty bourbon brown eyes, can I grab you off the shelf? You sweet but you strong, I gotta have you to myself. I'm trying to let you know that you're the only drink I'm trying to pour. Girl, it's Dunton, aka the slurring bourbon connoisseur. And look, I had a couple, so you know I'm telling the truth. I don't settle for Kettle One, I don't settle for Goose. First we had a couple rounds just to see how it go. Now it's time to tap that barrel, girl, let's see how it flow. You got that caramel dripping, now I'm sipping. They can't take you straight, but baby, I'm built different. It feels different. Listen, you keep getting Dunton loose. You far from the jungle juice, but you keep it 100 proof. I don't need no Coca-Cola or no Sprite for you. And yeah, you good on the rocks, might put that ice on you. You got that Jameson, that Johnny, or that Jack, and you can miss me. I need bourbon in my life, cause baby, you my favorite whiskey. Come on.
I don't want you holding back. Tell me everything, and I do mean everything, everything. It's time for last call. You know that this liquor been flowing faster than free fall. If we keep going, I might not be able to recall. My favorite bourbon. Take a sip of you, baby, I'm swerving from left to right. Left to right. You remind me of my favorite bourbon. Take two more shots, you know I'm swerving from left to right. Oh, let the band play on, and they be playing our song.
Girl, it's Dunton, aka the slurring bourbon connoisseur. And look.
What's smacking? Okay, hey y'all, how you doing? What's smacking? How you crack-a-lacking? How you crack-a-lacking? What's smacking? I am Lisa the X, aka Brown Whiskey Woman. First of all, I want to start off by apologizing for the delay. We had many technical oils and fumbles behind the scenes, but we got it together. We're here. So hey Brown Eyes, hey LaWanda, hey Missy Vaughn. Hey Natty, hey Cruz, how are you all today? We're here, and I am here live from Lock and Key Media Studios, Space 2 Shouting, and I got some guests, and we're gonna keep this moving because, of course, we're a little bit behind schedule, but we're gonna get it all together. So let me talk about our commands. We definitely have exclamation point BFAC. That is for donations for Beats for a Cure. I got a lot of catching up and work to do. So y'all donate, donate, donate. Also, we have exclamation point Believe that supports M. Claudie. And then we have exclamation point Kidney. That is supporting New Eureka Mommy. Also, take a minute. Everybody, make sure you're following Beats for a Cure and Beats for a Cure 2. Hey DK, how you doing today? So that you can see everything that's going to happen on the 25th of October, which we will be talking about a little bit later on. Last week, y'all, first of all, I'm still here. I'm intact. Everything's good. Okay. He didn't kick me out. So I'm back. But we had fall drinks. It was the call of fall last week. Had a gorgeous slideshow. We were drinking a whole bunch of stuff. I tried some stuff. And I liked most of what I tried. And one of the things that I tried was some very delicious apple cider. And it is actually the basis for what we're drinking this week. Okay, I'm going to talk about that. Hey, Psalmist, how you doing today? So this week, I am going to be having a conversation with London Michelle, who is in studio with me. London, you want to say hey to the people?
Hey to the people. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
You know they was waiting on it. you sure? You sure you don't
I'm
want?
sure.
You sure you don't want to give it to him today?
No, today.
Okay. So she's not going to give you all her
Maybe
usual greeting. Maybe later. Maybe later you'll get it. But London is here, and it is a different kind of conversation today. And then remotely, we are going to be joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Dman. He is going to be in talking with us as well. Hey, Jay Edwards, how you doing? So before we bring D-Man on and we get into this conversation, I'm going to tell you very quickly what we are drinking today. All right. So this drink is something that actually London gave me the idea for, and it was based off of something we saw on IG. Well, you saw it and you sent it to me.
I saw it.
Okay. So what it is we're using the apple cider, and this is the Hillside apple cider, Hillside Farms, which I talked about last week. Hey, Lioness Nala. I'm using that, and we are using Old Smoky salty caramel whiskey. And it's going through Stream Elements, so if you're interested in it. So it's basically half and half. And then we took some sliced apples, put those in the jar, and I let it sit overnight. So it's a really nice marinade, melding together of flavors. And basically it tastes like a caramel apple. And it's pretty damn good. But a couple of weeks ago, DJ Tree was in here. So shout out to Tree, wherever he is. And he said, what if you added like some cinnamon? And I was like, that sounds good to me. So y'all remember the Jack Daniels cinnamon Tennessee Fire? So we're gonna, hey Songbird. So we're gonna taste this. We tasted it before. Thank you for the resub, Songbird. It'll be London's first time tasting it. So London has the rating card. So London, you want to get us a taste and see what you think about it?
Yeah, sniff it right.
Yeah, she's nosing it. She's sniffing it. What is
it smells really good. It smells like Christmas.
Okay.
Like them pine cones. And
cinnamon
and
yeah. Stuff. Okay. Thank you for the resub, D-Man. I appreciate it. Give it your rating. Uh-oh, the way she's...
Let me see. It tastes... I taste the cinnamon. It's like,
okay.
Boom. It reminds me of a cinnamon, those candies.
Red Hots.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Tally.
It's not bad because at one point I had a love relationship with that candy.
Okay.
But
okay.
I like it, so I would give it a
And Tally,
I
thanks
don't
for the
think
gift
I would
sub.
say hell yeah per se.
Okay.
I would say it's mid. It's okay. I wouldn't buy it and be like, let me get some damn cinnamon Tennessee. Like, I wouldn't do that. It wouldn't be, but yeah.
Okay, so it gets a mid-meh.
Mhm.
And if y'all couldn't see her,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's what she gave it, the mid-meh.
Mid.
Okay. All right, that's what she gave it. Now, I give it the hell yeah. I've always given it the hell yeah. It does taste like cinnamon red hots, though. Okay. But I am going to pour up our drink. And I say let's taste this without the cinnamon and then maybe add the cinnamon and see how that goes. Because we want to taste it both ways. And let's see what it's tasting like.
I already smell this.
Yeah, it smells delicious. Miss Yvonne, thank you so much for the gift sub. I appreciate the hype train, you all. All bits and subs go to Beats for a Cure, too.
And you see it. What's it here? This is old man.
No, I didn't say old man. I said old Smoky.
Old Smoky.
Salted caramel whiskey. And apple cider. Okay? All right. So, cheers. It's good.
That's really good.
This is good.
I like that.
This is good, y'all. It tastes just like a caramel apple.
Yeah, I don't need no. I don't think I need
You
no
don't think
more
you
fire.
You don't need no fire in yours?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm gonna drink mine down a little bit. And then I'm gonna add it because I want to know what it tastes like.
That's really good.
It is really good. So again, super simple. You can get any salted caramel whiskey you want, any apple cider that you want. I did half and half. Sliced apples, I put those in the bottom and I let it marinate overnight. But of course, you can do it longer. I almost want to say longer is probably better because it's really going to put that fresh apple flavor in there. But good stuff. Super easy. And then if you want to add some cinnamon sticks in it because you want the cinnamon flavor, you could. Hey, C-Love, thank you for the resub. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the bits and the subs.
Yep. Thank you, Lioness Nala, for the
gift
resubs and all the subs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So super easy. All right. So we are having a conversation today. And you all know that though the whiteboard of my mind can be very wild and wildly inappropriate, it's some good stuff that comes off of it too. Okay. And one of the things that occurred to me was last year I had a great conversation with Lil Miss Ruthie, and that is on YouTube, by the way. You can see the replays of the show on YouTube. And that occurred last October, and it was a great conversation with her. Very honest, very intimate, learned a lot. It was wonderful. But I also had the thought of it would be great to have a conversation with individuals who have a different perspective. So the perspective on this conversation is both Dman and Linda Michelle are only children. They both lost their mothers to breast cancer. And I thought that it would be great to talk with them and kind of get their perspective on journeying with their mothers throughout this process. So let's bring on D-Man and have him give us a little background on Beats for a Cure, and then we will talk to him about his mom. And I have some photos that I'm going to be sharing with you all. And let's say hey to D-Man, to my DJ. What's going on, D?
What's good? How you doing? Doing well.
Good.
How's my mind doing?
I'm doing good. See, you see, just for you, D-Man, not Panky, but
But we got Onyx in the building.
Yeah, we got Onyx, exactly. Pink shirt, you know. She, yeah. That's what we got. But D, if you don't mind sharing with us, first of all, of course, we know that Beats for a Cure has been going on for a minute here, and it gets bigger and better every year. But if you could just give us some background on the how, what, where, why
Right.
Share that with the peoples.
Yeah. So pre Beats for a Cure, it was about my mom. It's always been about my always will be about my mom. But she was diagnosed with cancer back in 2001, and yeah, it was the only day I ever had tears of joy and sadness in the same day, within hours of each other. And so I always did, something for her and whatnot, whether it's time, money, whatever. And then the pandemic happened, so yeah, so I couldn't, DJ, or I couldn't go out, I couldn't do anything. And then shout out to Mike Tempo. He did a cancer rate train, I think, for leukemia, and I was like, hey, I can do that. And then then it kind of snowballed from there, because I figured I'll go by myself, raise a few $100s, and next thing you know, I had all these DJs that were down to support, and I'm like, all right, let's just see what we can do. And that first year, we raised over $20,000, and I was like, holy crap, like this Twitch community is just amazing. So, and it's all started from there, and it keeps building, and then of course last year we turned into a nonprofit, and that was just that legit. I still think back on that like, wow, I can't believe we're at this point with this particular cause, that not only is just doing a raid train on Twitch and raising money and getting people involved, but now we're an actual organization. So if you guys don't see me on Twitch a whole lot, or if I'm very quiet, I might come in the chat and say something, bounce out, because either I'm in a meeting or I'm sending emails out. It's like I'm doing a lot of business stuff now, which is good. And it's like I like doing this type of business because I have a passion for this. But yeah, Beats for a Cure started off actually really, really small, and now it's really big and massive. It's all because of the support of not only just the Twitch people, but started with the Twitch people, but also now getting involved with people outside of Twitch. So yeah.
Find us the total that Beats for a Cure has raised to date. How
Currently,
much
we're at,
has
currently
been
we're at
donated?
currently right now we're at $250,000, and actually we surpassed that by once we got our first donation, and we're actually above that now. So my goal right now, our goal for this year is 75,000, but I want to at least hit that next 25K, um, or I'm sorry, hit that next 3,000K goal, to get past that point. So once again, that's looking at 50,000 at that point. But of course, I'm pushing to see if we can get that 75,000. But yeah, if we can hit 300,000 this year, that would be phenomenal. So yeah,
Yeah, and we will. We're
and
gonna
we
we're
will,
gonna we're gonna
we will.
speak that we will,
Yes,
because last year I remember. I mean, we exceeded. The
yes,
goal
you
was
did.
exceeded, so it is going to happen, right? It's already in motion. That's what I always
Right,
think.
right.
It's already in motion. It's just waiting for us to step in alignment with it, right? We're the lag.
Exactly, exactly.
we're
We
we're
are
the,
the
we're the lag.
laggers. We're
Yeah,
lagging,
we're
and we're just waiting for us to catch up. Exactly.
exactly. Hey, Miss KB. Some other people came in here. I wanted to say, hey,
Yes.
Blue
Good evening.
Majesty.
Good
Thank
evening.
you. Okay, so D, let's kind of talk about you and your mom, and I have some photos of you and your mother, so we can see that. We'd love to show that, and tell us about your mama when we show the picture.
Yeah. Being raised by a single mom, granted that we lived with my grandparents, and so my grandfather was my father figure, very positive father figure. My other uncle, who lived in Chicago, was a good father figure. My other uncle that lived here was not so great of a father figure, but but you need those people to show you what not to do in life. But I had them around, and of course my grandmother. But obviously, it was always my mom and I. Like it was, we were, Bonnie and Clyde, if you want to put it in those terms. Like, no matter, yeah, we were in their house, but it was us against the world. And and because of her being a single parent, raising a boy, it's like I had to mature very fast. Like I had to basically become, in my mind, the man of the household, even though we were running the household of my grandparents. I still had that mentality, like I had to help take care of my mom. So I learned very quickly that I got to take care of stuff that I have. So it's funny because I still have some of my toys from as a kid. It's like more like collector's items now, and they're in really great shape. Even though some of my kids' stuff that I just bought, less than 10 years ago, 20, 15 years ago, is in shambles. My stuff that's 40 years old is still looking pretty good. Because I knew she could not, purchase more stuff and get more stuff because of the income that she was on. But also too, knowing that I'm not going to go and say, hey, I want this for Christmas. Or I want that for my birthday or da 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 da. It's like, no, I got to make sure that she can take care of what she needs to take care of as far as bills and whatnot. And then whatever I get, and I'll be happy with that. But yeah, we were partners as far as that aspect of life. But like I said, I loved her so much. Yeah, she was, at my world. I mean, it was music and my mom. And my mom loved music just as much as I did. So it was like we just fit together really well. So yeah.
Okay, tell us about the first picture of her, but tell us about that little boy in the middle with that afro. Look at all that hair, y'all. Look at all that hair. How old were you in that picture?
Gosh, I don't know. Looking at that, I'll probably say maybe 8 or 9.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I was a pretty tall kid growing up. I was like this height. If those who've met me, I was this height in middle school, and I just stopped growing my freshman. I may have grown an inch, and that was it. But I was pretty tall. So I'm looking at that. I was probably like 8 or 9 in that picture. But yeah, it's. I remember that watch.
That last picture, the next picture to that one. Tell us about that one. How were you in that picture?
With the tuxedo, the white tuxedo.
Yes,
that was my wedding. And
that was your wedding picture. Okay,
wedding picture. Yes, so that was in '98, and so yeah, that made me 25. Yeah, I was 25 in that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is, and hey Tab, how you doing? And thank you for the resub. And hey Miss KB. And hey LaWanda, how you doing? LaWanda said they buy her like that in 2025.
Yeah,
right?
The hair went from up top to down here to the chin.
Exactly. But this is Mama Dman and this is Miss Shelley. So D, you said that your mom was diagnosed at age 49, correct?
Yeah, correct.
And
which is scary because I'm 52 right now, and so I'm past that point. So like, it's just when you asked me that, and I had to think about that, I was like, oh my gosh, like technically, I mean, I have not outlived her yet, but it's like I'm past that point where she was at when she was going through her issues. So yeah.
Right. And then you said that when she passed, she was 15 days from her 58th birthday.
Correct.
And you were 28 years old at that time when that occurred. So of course your mother did not get the opportunity to see you have children. She got a chance to see you get married, but
she did see our children.
Did she? Wait a minute. She didn't see all 3 of them.
No, she saw the boys.
Right. She saw the boys.
But she didn't see mine.
Okay. All right. Okay. So hey, Caller06, how you doing? All right, so London, I'm gonna come over to you, and we're gonna kind of go back and forth, I guess. But I'm gonna come over to you because we want to hear about your mommy, and we have some nice photos of your mother. But London, I know that your mom was 51, right, when she was diagnosed, and she was 56 when she passed, and you were 22. At that time. So let's take a picture. Let's look at the pictures of your mom. Okay. You were 22. Okay. Let's take a picture. Let's look at your mommy. Look. First of all, that first picture, y'all. Hey Tab. That first picture, is that not her mama and her? That they got each other's face. Hey Big Stove. Yeah, they're twins. Exactly. I'm like, that's you. That's you. But tell us a little bit about your mom and tell us about those photos.
Okay. So this is the first time I have ever really openly talked about my mom. So y'all be ready. I got my tissue sitting right here. My mother was my world. Everything to me. My best friend, she was an open book. I was able to tell her everything from the rooter to the tutor and not feel judged. And I know a lot of people don't really understand that relationship. It's times that when I would talk to my mom, I'd be like, girl, let me tell you. And get so many looks like, did you call your mama girl? Yes, I did, because that's my girl. She was everything. She was one of the kindest people you can know. And I'm not saying that because everyone says it about their mom. I mean the shit. She was one of the kindest people you can know. Like always there for her friends, there for anybody, that person you can call and you can vent to about your sisters and siblings and stuff, and it wouldn't go anywhere. She just listens. She was that girl.
But tell us about these pictures. What's that first picture like when y'all just swap faces?
The first picture was actually at my family reunion. I want to say that was my freshman or sophomore year. I went to summer school, and the reunion was in Alabama. I went to Clark, so I went over to Alabama.
Shout out to Clark.
And that was like the first picture we took and we seen of each other that year.
Okay.
I was tired. You can see she was tired too.
Now you say, come on, mama. And in that second picture, you obviously graduate.
Yep, that was when I graduated. That was like some months after Jalen.
And for those of you who don't know, Jalen is her son.
Yes, that was actually the year she was diagnosed. That was 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that last picture, which I love that picture.
That was my mama. That was a picture she took. I cropped it.
How?
No, that was in Vegas. She went.
How old was she? You figure in that picture.
Looking at her, she probably was like in her 30s.
Okay.
In that picture.
Hey, Mr. Nate.
That was her hot girl days. You could see she was all cute and shit.
Not a hot girl. She got her little flip.
Had a little flip. She was posing. Yeah, she was in Vegas. On the other side of her is one of her favorite aunts, my Aunt Laverne. Yeah. Okay. And I was probably with my auntie or somebody at home while she was kicking it. That's okay. Maybe with my dad. That's okay.
Okay. Well, again, I wanted us to have kind of a conversation here with each other about it. So I'm going to kind of go back and forth with some of the things. And I do want you all, of course, to share what you feel comfortable with. And I'm going to ask you first, London. So, of course, your mother received her diagnosis and she was going through treatment. How did you feel about the treatment, the medical treatment that your mom received?
Well, can I take it back a little further when I found out she had it?
Yes.
I was, like I said, I was at Clark. I had just finished in December of 2007. Had my son. Took my final exam. My mom was there for like a whole month with me and my son. And, we normally talk. And I'm going to get to the treatment part because it's going to go into it.
Right. Well, actually, you just reversed my question.
Oh, okay.
That's all. It's fine.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
We talk every day.
On.
I had to tell her how my day was. She had to tell me how hers was. And this particular day, I called and was like, girl, I remember it. Girl, did you hear about Jennifer Lopez? And she was like, no, I didn't hear about her, but I don't want to talk about her. I said, oh, okay. So I went on to something else. And as I'm talking to her, she was very quiet. And I'm like, well, okay, well, hello? She was like, yeah, I'm here. And I remember I was talking about something and she just yelled it out. I have breast cancer. Because she didn't know how to tell me. And I remember, y'all know I'm dramatic as hell anyway. I remember like I paused because it had to sink in. My son's dad was there. And I just dropped and I screamed at the top of my lungs, because when someone says cancer to you, it's like your mind just goes there automatically. I screamed, I kicked, I screamed, and she was still on the phone. And my son's dad's like, what's going on? And I can hear her crying, saying, I knew I shouldn't have told you. I knew I shouldn't have told you. You're breaking my heart. You got to stop crying. You're breaking my heart. And I'm like, I can't stop crying. I can't stop crying. Like, what is going on? I kept just saying, no. Because all I can see was my mom is about to leave here. That's where my brain went. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, ain't no way. I just got this kid. Life is going good. I graduated and what the hell, Now, the treatment, my mom's breast cancer was in her lymph nodes. And at that time, they were saying, we're going to do the surgery and then she's going to do chemo. And after chemo, she does the radiation therapy. And so at that time, I did not know anything. Okay, I'm trusting in them. And, everything goes smooth. She did the surgery, then there was chemo. Everything was smooth. And then she went to remission. And then it came back in 2012, the end of 2012. And when it came back, she thought she had pneumonia and went to the emergency room. One of them told them she did have pneumonia, but then she took meds and it wouldn't go away, the cough. So she thought, okay. So we went to her normal, the hospital that she usually goes to, and the emergency room, they said it's not pneumonia, it looks like cancer. And then they did the full body, and they discovered that it was in her lungs and went to her liver. And then they told her that at that point that's stage 4, So chemo, and she basically she would be on these water pills where my mother would be. We had a huge bathroom. She'd been in the bathroom all day. So I decided to bring my tablet in the bathroom, sit it on the counter, turn it to her, and we used to watch movies and shows together because I had to be in there with her. Because at this point, she has a walker, it was worse. It was worse at this point. Mm-hmm. And, all of a sudden she started having incontinence. So we go back to the doctor for chemo, and I talked to the doctor and I said, this is happening. And immediately her doctor goes, no, she has to go to the emergency room. And that's when they told us that basically she went to the emergency room. It had spread to her spine. She had to be in the hospital. And one of the other doctors, they looked at all the labs and things, and he was the most unprofessional ass doctor ever. He came in and he says, well, it looks like it's spread to your spine and your brain. There's nothing else we can do. You have to go in hospice, and just walked out. Literally.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. Never mind. Go ahead.
And so I'm irritated because of how he said it, and he said it to her in the room, and I can see her like a down itch to her. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to find him and beat his ass. Literally. And I was like, no, you get someone else in here to explain more to me, mm-hmm. So her regular doctor ended up coming the next day and explained, and she apologized. She said, because he's old as shit. And he doesn't know how to talk to people. But they were basically letting me know that was nothing else they can do.
Right.
So the fight in us, they was like she could still do the, just to slow it down, the radiation.
Right.
This is the part where I wish I knew what I knew now.
Okay.
And I'm going to let you guys know, but you make your own decisions. When they talk about radiating the brain and it's connected to the spine, and they're saying that's nothing else they can do, then stop. I wish we had just said, okay, because that way I felt like even though she was going to leave here, she could have left on her own, just left. They did that, and my mother turned into a vegetable. Like, she left the room talking, she came back, and literally her hands was like this, and she was just like this. And I'm talking to her, and she can look at me. It's like she was hearing me, but she wasn't there. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm talking too long.
Well, just keep in mind, Dman has
okay,
to
Dman,
talk
I heard you.
That's all. But
so
you go
knowing
ahead.
what I know now, because after that she went down quick.
Okay.
Like, it was like that was it. I know it was in the lymph node, but my thoughts is, I wonder what would have happened if she had totally got rid of the breast.
Okay.
They never gave her that option to just get rid of the breast.
Yeah.
I felt like when they did the surgery for the lymph node, it's like, when I sat and thought about it, well, you're just cutting into this shit.
Right.
That's a spread to me. And sure enough, it spread it. I feel like there should be more studies or tests done than just a once a year thing to catch when it comes back.
Okay.
Because things can come back, and like we know, they can be aggressive and they can move fast. So that's my on the treatment thing, and I already told you my I don't know if I would go through it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I saw what it did, I would probably do some of it and then holistic type things too.
Okay.
Sorry it took me so long, D-Man.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. You don't have to apologize for that. We just want to make sure that we're fair and and all. So okay. And I heard you kind of at the beginning when you were saying your reaction, like how you were devastated. Like, you just dropped, you just were like,
that was traumatic, because like I said, and like D-Man, I don't know D-Man understands, like, that's your mama. My mom was also a single parent because my father passed away when I was 10. And so it was just me and her against the world, Smalls. So to see and to hear that the strongest person in this world is sick.
Yeah.
And to see it and to see them slowly leave you, even though you want them to fight, realistically you thinking, I'm seeing my mother slowly leave, is the hardest thing in the world. Like, I almost went fucking crazy. Yeah. The hardest thing. But you can talk to D-Man now.
And I am reading the comments, you all. I just want to let you know we haven't forgotten about you. But as I said, this is a conversation, and thank you, for sharing, because I know you did. It's challenging. Thank you. And thank you for your comment, Miss KB. And College 06 was in here, and he was talking about the bedside manner of the doctors. And he said, I hate doctors like that. And he's a doctor. But D, if you don't mind coming on and telling us kind of your story with your mom in terms of, like I said, how you felt about the medical treatment and emotionally what was happening. And those were 2 questions, and London did, cover those. Sorry. So no.
First off,
don't apologize.
First off, cancer is not fair. So don't think that we got to be fair as far as time. No, London, you tell your story and you say what you need to say, because cancer is not fair, and you need to express what you need to express. So don't apologize. You had, like, when you were talking, like, I was legit up there crying, because it's like I'm hearing you just took me back to what I had to go through. And I'm sorry, it just takes me back, and it hurts.
Please just go when you need to go and pause when you need to pause. We got it. Hey, Mac.
So I get it, London. So no, you tell your story. You say what you need to say. Don't worry about me. You do your thing but yeah, it's just like what London was saying. It was like it legit took me back there because um you mentioned about did she know the kids? I'm like yeah because and I mentioned like the day when I had tears of joy and sadness in the same time. It was the day my oldest son was born, April 27th, 2001, and I'm crying because now I'm a new dad. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And, it was an amazing day. And then a few hours later, my mom comes in and says, you know, I have cancer. I mean, she hugged the baby and all that and whatnot, but then she pulled me off to the side. I was like, yeah, I have cancer. And I just, first thing with my mind was like, my mom's about to die. Like, like she's like just going to fall on the floor right now and just die right in front of me. And I was you could not console me. I was just broken when she said that. And but she says, no, we're going to fight this. We're going to fight this. We're going to get through it. This is not a death sentence. But as you know, someone who loves her as her kid, that's the first thing that goes in your mind. It's like I'm about to lose, someone who I love. And at that point in time, people that are passing away are old people. People that like you don't know. Like for example, when my grandparents like, oh my gosh, so and so passed away. I'm like, who is that? Like I don't, whatever. Now it's like as we're older, it's like when they announce people passing away, I'm like, holy crap! Like I know these people. I was like D'Angelo and the actress just passed away. Help me out. Oh gosh. Anyway, an actress passed away. So like I crap, I know these people. And so to hear that is like she is kind of like one of the first people I kind of knew that has, a death sentence basically. So she fought it and every year my son had a birthday, she celebrated another year of life. So she called Caleb, which is my oldest son, her survivor baby. So every year, his birthday, she was like, I'm one more year, here, one more year, beating this. And she did have a mastectomy. I don't know the specifics as far as, I know it was in her right breast, and I'm not sure lymph nodes or whatnot. I can tell you this, I was very mature, but there were some things where I was immature and not really ready for. And kind of helping my mom get through what she was getting through, I had a hard time because I was like, okay, now, what do I do? What do you need me to do? And I'm like, asking her, asking doctors. And there are certain things where I, if I can go back, I would do different. But she had her right breast removed. And I think that helped her because they got rid of all the cancer. They didn't see anything. They're like, okay, you're good to go. You're clean. You're clear. Diane Keaton, thank you. Thanks for seeing that in the chat. That's the person I was thinking about. So, now that, she's looking good. And there were some pictures I was going to send of you with her. You could tell that she was proud. She was a proud cancer survivor. She didn't want to hide it. So she didn't have the fake boob in there. She was like, there's one here and one not here. And she's just like, yeah, I'm a survivor. And so my boys are 2 years apart. So yeah, they knew her very well. Because my other son was born in 2003. And the things that I had hard time with were changing her, like getting her dressed. Like in my mind, I'm not supposed to see my mom naked. But I have to because I need to get her dressed because otherwise she can't dress herself. I had to cut her hair and, I didn't have a problem cutting her hair, but she had a problem with that. And I just said, Mom, you're beautiful no matter what. And I don't want you to go into the shower and all of a sudden you have a clump of hair in your hand. Let's just take care of this now. And, I'm at that point, I'm cutting my own hair, I'm cutting other people's hair, like I can fade you up really nice, I'll make you look really good, whatever. And so I took care of her that way. But then as she got further along into it, um, even though the cancer wasn't there, she was still having some other issues. And and like what London said about her mom, not being able to hold her her bladder or her waist, and it was like that's the one thing I wish I could do different, because I'm like, I had to call someone in. I'm like, whether it's a nurse or someone, I'm like, I can't handle this. This is way too much for me. But the crazy thing is that you fast forward, uh, some years later, 10 years later, or whatever, my father-in-law had cancer, and I had to clean him up one day where we were out somewhere, and I had to take care of that. But at that point in time, I think I was just more mature. And I can like, all right, listen, this is something I need to do. I'm not gonna call anyone. I'll handle this. But that's one of the things I wish I can go back and just say, hey, I wish I could take care of her more and better, even though I was there for her. I went to all of her treatment and stuff like that. But there's certain things I just wish I could just do a little bit different, a little bit better. But once again, just being that young 20-some-year-old kid, it's like, wow, this is a whole lot going on right now. But she was fine. Like I said, she was getting better, but like I said, there's some things that, will come in and out, like, with that. And I remember it was Thanksgiving. She was supposed to come over our house for Thanksgiving. And she said, Darryl, I'm not feeling good. I'm just going to just stay home. And I'm like, okay. And, do we bring you food? What's going on? And she's like, I'm just tired. And, and it didn't sound like it was being really bad. It's basically like she had a long day at work, and she was like, listen, I'm tired. Can I just rest for this weekend? Fine. And that Saturday, she called us and says, Darryl, I'm at the hospital. I had to call 911. I feel really bad. I'm like, well, why didn't you call me? I'm like, well, fine. You got 911. They got we've gotten there faster than I would have. And the doctor said that the cancer spread to her bones. And basically the same thing with London. Once it got to the bones, she declined fast. And then it went to her spine, then to her brain. And then within, between Thanksgiving and March, you're looking at 4 months, she was gone. And she fought for all that time for years. And just that small period of time, it just felt like everything just ramped up so fast. And so to hear London say that, I'm like, gosh, like that, you're basically telling my story. Like that is pretty much exactly what happened to my mom. And as far as her treatment, once again, she was at the Cleveland Clinic. So they took care of her very, very well. And even when she went to hospice, it was also through the Cleveland Clinic as well. And those nurses were just wonderful there. And another thing that I wish, and I couldn't really change it, but Christy and I, and for those who know, Christy is my wife, we were spending a night with her. So she would spend like a night, then I'll come home, deal with the kids. And then I'll go spend the night with mom, and she'll come home and she'll, be with the kids. And I was on my way to hospice, and I was maybe 5 minutes away from the hospital. I could see the hospital, and my uncle calls and he's crying. And I'm like, and it's like, before he even said anything, I like already knew. I'm like, what's going on? He was like, I'm sorry, man. Shelly passed away, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm on my way to go see her right now. What do you mean? Like, no. And he said, you're not there? I'm like, no, like Christy spent the night with her. I'm on my way now to relieve her. And then he felt extra sad because he was like, crap, I just told you the news without you, knowing. And when I walked in there and just saw her there, I wanted to cry so much, but for some reason my body just wouldn't let anything out. It was just like, I was in shock of just now not seeing my mom alive. And Christy hugged me, the nurses hugged me, and it was just like I had all this inside me that I could not get out. And I don't think I didn't cry. I think the first time I did a big cry was maybe like 2 or 3 days afterwards, when I was just kind of alone and just really just by myself with my thoughts, and it just all hit me, and I was no good. I was no good. And the worst part was I was by myself. So I couldn't talk to someone. It was just basically just me just yelling and just punching stuff and throwing stuff and just mad at everything. And it took those few days for it to really sink in and like, yeah, my mom is now gone. And it hurt so much. So that's all I gotta say about that. So London took me back when it's just crazy how similar our stories are.
And kind of the piggyback off of Dman, like when it happened, it was fast. End of the year 2012 is when her diagnosis came back, and they took, like I said, she did the radiation therapy twice, and it took her down. And then she, with a thick tongue, my mom told me, no more. And I said, okay. And so they took her over to hospice, and I remember asking her, hey, Mom, do you want to go home or do you want to be here? She said, I want to go home. I said, okay, well, I'll make arrangements. It was like she was there and she wasn't, because she would just stare off into a corner. And I'm like, who does she see is what was in my head. Who is she seeing? And so I was low-key scared to ask her, because I know the thing where they come back and they get you. Your people come and get you. And I'm not stupid, because I knew she was leaving here, because I was taught to touch her legs, and you feel cold, it slowly creeps up, And so we get her back home, my cousin's son's dad was there. We get the room ready, get her back home. They bring her back. And I was caregiver, of course, I had to, like D-Man said, clean her, change her. I had to do the whole 9 yards. And then one day she was looking in the corner, and I finally got the nerve to say, Mom. She said, huh? I said, what you see in that corner? Who are you looking at? She goes, nothing. I say, oh, okay, But my fear was, I ended up buying a baby monitor, so I can hear her just in case she called me. She really wasn't talking much, and then it got to the point where she wasn't talking at all, and I was like, oh my God, when is it gonna be? I was telling people, y'all need to kind of get here, because I don't know when it's gonna be. I can just tell she was just slowly declining. And my cousins who work in nursing homes said, well, she's going to have a burst of energy before she goes.
Yeah.
Look for the burst of energy. I was like, burst of energy? So, trust me, you would know.
Right.
And so I remember one day, every morning I walk in there and open the blinds, and say good morning to her. This morning, I walked in and she was sitting straight up in the bed, and she looked over at me. And I paused and I said, well, good morning to you. And she was like, good morning. But like I said, a thick tongue. Mm-hmm. I said, how you doing? She was like, I'm doing good. I said, okay. You need anything? You hungry? No, I'm not hungry. I said, okay. So we having a whole conversation. And in my mind, I'm still like, what's going on here? Like, am I tripping? And I swear it was for like 30 minutes. And then I remember saying, you need anything? Are you hungry? She said, She said, I don't want anything to eat, but I'll take her inshore. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, let me go get it. I walked to the kitchen and came back, and she was back into the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's the burst of energy. And literally, she started to kind of breathe funny, but I felt like she was still fighting, and I felt like she was in pain, because I would move her legs and she goes, and so I did one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life. I walked in the room that night and I grabbed her arm and I said, Mom, can you hear me? And she nodded her head. And I said, I want you to listen to me. I know you're fighting, but if it's too much, it's okay to go. I said, me and Jalen will be okay, but I don't want you to fight and be in pain for us. It's okay to go. We will be okay. I said, you understand me? And I'm crying as I'm saying this because that was so hard. And I remember her nodding her head, and I just rubbed her. And literally the next day I came in and I heard the death rattle. And I was confused. And I remember like help, I was roll over because I thought she was choking. And I was like, Mom, cough, cough. And I could hear her trying to cough. And then it clicked. I'm like, y'all, it's the death rattle. Says, I need y'all to call everybody, tell them to get here because she's not going to make it through the day. And so everybody got there. I called my aunt, who was my favorite aunt, and she was like, I'm on my way to do something, but I'm coming there. I said, you need to get here now. She said, oh my God. She got there and everybody walked in and she was breathing so hard and her eyes were glassed over. And I remember sitting in the chair with two of my favorite cousins on the side of me. And my aunt looked at me and she walked over to her and she grabbed her hand because her and my mom was really close. She said, Dumpling, it's her nickname. I know you fighting. She said, but give up the ghost. It is okay to go. Your baby gonna be okay. We got her, but it's your time to go. And I remember she was breathing so hard. Her head was kind of like jumping because she can hear her. And all of a sudden I heard her. And I looked and I yelled, Mom! So loud. I ran to the bed. I screamed, Mom! And her head dropped. I yelled, Mom again. And it was like she heard me because she did this. I looked my way and her head dropped. For the longest, I said I shouldn't have saw that. Because it haunted, because I can still hear my mother's breathing for a long time. It took a long time for me to get past that. And I know Dman understand it because when you are an only child, everyone is sad, but you feel like don't nobody feel that shit like you. They don't know how you really feeling. Like, I lost my dad, but it's different when it's your damn mama. Your ride or die, your everything. And I was still kind of, my son was 4. And I remember her praying, Lord, just let me stay here to see my baby graduate. My grandbaby graduate 8th grade. She didn't, of course. And I had to explain everything to my son because when they came to get her to take her to the funeral home, he kept saying, is Granny going to the hospital? And I said, no, not this time. And we tried to get Elmo in there for the video to explain to him. And it was like, oh, Elmo, okay. And then he was still asking me, when are we going to see Granny? Even after the funeral, he saw her there, but it's still, that was the hardest thing. And then to leave my mother at that cemetery, it didn't feel normal. Even though to me, you felt a little bit of it's over. I used to visit the cemetery every week because I didn't understand. And y'all gonna laugh at this, but I felt like I would see other people's busted and disgusted mamas, crackheads and all. And I didn't understand why he ain't take they mama. They mama is horrible to them. And my mother was everything to me. My mother was everything. Like, even when cousins and people were spending the night, she treated them like they was her kids. Memories, we used to go shopping every weekend to the movies, and whatever child was there, they got an outfit too. Like, why you take my mama? And it took a while, I had a lot to happen because the next year my grandmother passed away. And so I felt like I had nobody. Everybody who had a part of raising me was gone. I have this 5, 6 year old child. I still have damn questions. Like, and I had people to step in, to help because I was 27, 28.
Yeah.
And at that age, you still got a lot to learn. You feel like you're grown, but you really ain't. And so I'm thankful for my family, for my aunt, even though I wanted to be a recluse. I wanted to stay away from me. But she wouldn't. My cousin, she could, she wouldn't. But it was hard for me. I couldn't go to family events and things. And I know my family don't understand this, but if they are watching, they know they're here now. It was hard for me to go to stuff and not see my mama. That was hard. Christmas just ain't Christmas without your damn mama. Her favorite holiday. It didn't mean the same to me. Like, even though I had my son, I would force myself to put up a tree for him. And I was so happy when my baby said, Mama, we don't have to have no tree no more. Thank God. Thank God. Life just wasn't the same. Like, till this day, Lisa, I miss the shit out of my mama. I still have times where something good happened. I'm like, I gotta go home. Call my mama and tell her. She's not there. When I'm having horrible days and bad days, I cry and I call my mama's name out loud. Because it's like, if I can just hear her voice one more time, she could probably just say, girl, shut the fuck up. And I would feel so good. She wouldn't say that, but that would feel so good to me just to hear that. When I have those dreams about her, that's the best dreams in the world. Because it's like she was there. She was there. So I'm sorry to take up your time. Yeah. But it's just a reminder.
Listen.
It's so similar.
Listen. D-Man said it best. No, we're not gonna we're not apologizing. Okay, we're not apologizing because these are your stories. This is what we're here for. So nobody's apologizing. And thank you for the humor. I just said I do appreciate that. Right. No apologizing. And hello to New Eureka Mommy. And she says she still thinks about her mother, even though it has been 20 years. And I just want to say from, the perspective of a person who has also lost people very close to them. I always think, people say, well, time heals all wounds. That's bullshit. Frag-a-naggle bullshit, because this is the thing. You learn how to manage. You're different. You're different when you lose people. You adjust your life in a way that changes you. It is not... You're never going to be the same because that person is not there anymore in your life. So you cannot be the same. So I feel like you just learn how to manage your life in a way without that person in it. You are, Tab said it, forever different. You just learn how to manage. You learn how to go on and be okay, because I know I say every single day, I'm still here. And I go on because I'm still here.
Yeah.
So most definitely. So
Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna piggyback on that as well. Listen here, K-Lock, whatever Lisa's rent is for today, I'll pay for the overtime because we're gonna be here. We ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So
yeah, we're good. We gonna talk as long as we need to talk.
But London said something that just kind of opened my eyes about something, because like I said, I wasn't there for my mom when she took her last breath. I was actually there when my mother-in-law took her last breath, and I know exactly what London is talking about, and it's like it sticks with you. But she told my wife something, and I think it was that burst of energy you were talking about, because no one ever explained it to me like that. And I think that's probably what it was, because she told my, and I thought, it's just a morphine talking, because at that point she was on a drip and she was in hospice at that point. But she said, Christy, you're pregnant and you're going to have a girl. And then Christy told me that like a day or two later, whatever. And I'm like, what? Like, nah, we're done. We got 2 boys. We ain't having no more kids. And I want to say probably like a month or two after she had passed.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. And I'm like, whatever. I'm like, if it's a girl, I'm gonna freak out. And then, I have Maya now. So, so she's our miracle baby. So once we always had the name Maya picked because we always thought our oldest son was gonna be a girl. So Maya, we always had that name picked out, Maya. And Olivia is her mom's middle name. So my nickname for her was gonna be Mo, Moe. That would have been her initials, like Mo. That's my girl Mo. And then I'm like, no, I got to put my mom's name in that because she said, "This, you are with child." Like God told her, like, let them know that I know that she's pregnant. Because here's the thing, so now her nickname, I would call her is Mosey, Mose, my Olivia Chelsea. But it is gosh, how do I say it? Like I never put it into that perspective. Like I didn't know that. Okay, that's what happens right before you pass. Like you get that energy, you get that extra little boost. And now when London said that, I'm thinking that's probably what it was. Like Christy saw that because she said, when she said it clear as day. Like it was like nothing. Like this is gonna happen. And so I'm glad you said that, London, because now you actually shed some light on a thing that happened that I just kind of was just like, wow, she has some foresight. But it was something that she did have the foresight, but it is now that there's a name, there's a reason behind that.
Mm-hmm.
So
and they call it the rally. That's what they call it.
Rally. Okay.
They call it the rally before death, where people get that burst of energy. That's what they call it, the rally. Yeah. And it happens very often with people that are about to, cross over to the other side. Right. So,
but I get what London is saying. It's like, I never knew my father. And so even though I had my grandparents had passed, I still have my uncle and cousin and stuff like that. I did have some family around, but I felt like I was alone. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm married and got kids, I felt alone. Mm-hmm. And because that's the only person that I've always known all my life. And whenever, I had a goal or something that I wanted to achieve or whatever it was, she supported me. Like when I played sports, she was at every single track meet. She was at every single basketball game. When I told her I wanted to be a DJ, I drove around to pawn shops around Cleveland. Or she drove me around to pawn shops to Cleveland to make sure I wasn't getting, taken advantage of or whatever. And to buy used equipment and stuff like that. So like she always supported everything that I did. And so because of that, I made sure that I did the best I could, AKA battle mode. Like I got to do the best I can, be the best I can because I'm doing this for my mom. So yeah, battle mode started long before DJing. It's just basically just me being the best person I can be because if I'm not, then I'm letting my mom down. And I can't let my mom down because it's just the two of us. She doesn't have anyone else to, rely on or call on, even though she did with her mom and dad, but still in my mind, it was just me and her. So,
yeah. I'm gonna ask both of you, since you both have children. Dman has 3 children, and you have 1. How do you think losing your mother changed the way you parent? Do you feel like it influenced the way you parent? Do you feel differently about how you just approached parenthood?
Okay.
Yes, you.
Yep. Because my one, like I said, he was young when she passed and she meant a lot to him. He still remembers her. Like he'll mention things, mm-hmm. about her. I carry the memories of things that I did with her, with him. It's like, my mom's gone. I have to pass things down so he can remember things. And I've talked to you about the fear with me, and I don't speak anything to existence, but in my bloodline on my mom's side, we've had a lot of young deaths. Like my mom lost her mom. My mom was 39. Then my dad, he was like 40. And then, my mom was only, how did I say she was?
she's like, I don't even remember what.
Like
What I said, she was
56.
56. She was 56. Is what
So,
you're telling
and
me.
56 is not that old.
No, it is not. I concur.
And so I feel like I have to. My baby is 18. Will be 18. So,
Yeah, soon.
I feel like I have to make sure that I do a lot with him, because of a fear of what if I go. I want him to make sure he knows X, Y, and Z, because it's too many where we've lost mamas in our 20s. Yeah. And so I pray that that's not me, because I want to live until I'm 110.
That's what you always tell me.
Need to see a lot of stuff. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I have to prepare him.
Yeah.
And I always tell him, Jalen, you can't look for me to always do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
What if I'm not here? What would you do?
Yeah.
Because I was like, even though people are like, that's morbid, but no, it's real.
It's
Because
reality.
It happened
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah, it's reality.
I was sitting like, what did I do? Mom isn't here, So it did change. And I feel like if I hadn't have lost mom, it wouldn't be S. Boom. Like, listen,
Right.
sir, get it together, What if me and your dad is gone? Then what? You have to step out and do X, Y, and Z. But I always make sure that I make memories with my son. I make sure that he remembers my mom, and he makes sure I remember her too. And I know he's an only child, and that was another fear for me too, because I'm like, well, if I felt this way, then what would he feel when it happens to him? And part of me still feels bad about that. I might adopt. But because I want him to have someone.
Yeah.
And we do have family, but I want him to have someone who can mourn with him, who, hey bro, let me call you, something. Let's, look at mama's pictures, somebody, because I have to go through the pictures alone, Hell, it's hard for me to even hear a song about mama. And I got a son, and they play it on Mother's Day, and we dancing together, and I'm boo-hooing during the dance. And I feel so bad with doing that, but it's like, I can't help it.
Right.
Because it's like, I celebrate myself, but mom, man, F y'all taking y'all mamas out, and I ain't taking mine out. That's how I would feel, like, for the longest. That's how I would feel. And I was like, well, maybe I will feel better when Jalen gets older, and then he's like, mama, let's go out for Mother's Day. Right now, I just have the, Mom, are you okay? Come on, let's dance. And that's fun, because that's memories too. I just say, make memories, I stick to him like, we got to make memories, Jalen. Remember to make memories. Remember to pass your memories down to your kids. And remember, the memories that you have, a lot will come from me and my mom. They said, you keep passing it down. They might not know our names, but those memories last.
Yeah.
Pass it down. And so that's how it changed for me. I'm, I guess, a little tougher.
Yeah.
A little tougher.
Okay. A little bit. So what about you, D? Because you have three littlins that ain't so little. But what do you feel like? How do you feel like it changed you as a parent?
For sure, it definitely did, and it's two reasons why it changed. And I'm going to say something real quick before I get into that. I was going to mention this before, and I lost my train of thought, and I hit it. I want to hit it now before I lose it, because I'm old. My mom and my grandmother were the baby ladies of the church, and I'm glad that my mom told my wife that she was going to have a girl, because she knows that Maya is in existence, and she knows. But if she was still around right now, I would never see Maya. Like, she loved my boys, and she always had them. But girls, Oh my gosh, to have my oh yeah, she would have loved on Maya so much, and it would have been just amazing to watch. But I never would have seen Maya because she'd been always over there. They're doing their thing, makeup and girl stuff and whatever. But um, to answer your question, yes, two reasons why my parenting definitely has changed. One because I did not have a father, and I always said to myself, I will always be there for my kids no matter what. And two, because my mom was there for me for all the things that I want to do. So I'm going to be that same model to my kids of being there all the time for them. So because of lack of and having a great mom made me be the parent who I am now. Um, I said as soon as, Caleb was born and, we had, he was, baby and whatnot growing, I told my wife, I'm like, yeah, I don't want him to be an only child because I want him to, and gosh, London, like, are we like cousins, brothers, sisters, or something? I don't
Probably I
know.
have like 500 family members. So
That 6 degree of separation might be more like 3 or 2 or 3.
Right?
But I was like, I don't want him to be alone. I want him to have that, hey, bro, or hey, sis, what's going on? And so then we had, our second child 2 years later in 2003. But it was, with that in mind, like, seeing my mom go through it, I'm like, yeah, I don't want them to go through it alone, like how I feel. Even though, yes, I have, and that was the hardest thing for Chrissy to hear. Like, I'm here with you. I'm like, I know you are, but
same.
it's not the same. You have a brother. You can talk to him, even though you don't talk to him. You can still talk to him. It's like
Mhm.
it's different being the only child. It really is different. I mean, granted that our parents did it right the first time, and it
Man,
good.
hey.
They didn't have to try again. But still, it's always good to have that secondary person there with you,
Yeah.
and so I'm blessed to have my 3 kids that they can, you know, um, toss each other, and it's fun seeing my 2 older boys because they're closer in age, seeing them interact and talk and text and call each
Mhm.
other and have that conversation and just and become friends. Now that they're older, that they're adults. Because my oldest is 24, and then the other one is no 24 or 25, one and two, 24, and then my other one is 22. So it's like they're adults and they're going through life, and it's just like to see them interact. I'm like, that's what I wanted, so that when something happens to us, they have each other to latch onto, and then Maya looks up to them, and so that she has the 2 big brothers that can help her. But yeah, having her and just and or with my mom and just seeing what she's going through, it's like it shows like, yeah, life is not forever. Honestly, real talk, and this is, I know it sounds stupid, but I still kind of believe this in a way. But before having Caleb, I thought I was gonna live forever. Like, London talking about 110, I'm talking about I'm living forever. Like, I'm never gonna die. Until my oldest one was born, I started calculating, like, oh, when he's 10, I'll be this old. When he's 20, he'll be this old. When he's 50, I'll be this old. And he's 80, I'll be dead. Like, that's not gonna work out. But still, regardless, I think I'm still gonna live forever. And but knowing that life is finite, that I want to do the most and like create those memories, like London said, and just and be there for them when they need me. Um, you know, it's so important. It's so important because you never know, anything can happen in an instant, and you want to make sure that they're going to be okay and know that what they'll be fine. You know, so absolutely, absolutely, she changed my life as far as parenting.
Hey, Aquaria, how you doing? She popping her head in for a second. She said, "So
What's
hey,
good, family?
um, and actually, just quick plug. Aquaria is on the Beats for a Cure live lineup in
You in
Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Yeah, in
Yes.
Cleveland. So, but yeah, and I'm listening to what you all are saying about that, and um, I just think it kind of lends itself to the whole thought of like often we live in a society that puts a lot of value on things and maybe not so much value on people. But
Right.
people are the most important commodity because they're not a commodity at all. It is about feelings and memories and connections and the things that happen. And like, I just think about our Twitch family and this whole thing that we built, this whole Beats for a Cure thing, you know, started on Twitch. Like you said, D-Man, with just, okay, I just want to raise a couple of $100 in honor of my mother. And look at you now, you know, and I know both of your mothers. I'm going to say it for a fact.
They know each other.
Yeah. I feel like that. I feel like they know each other. She tells me that all the time. She's like, I feel like me and D-Man's mom are probably friends.
And they probably
are.
My mom knows Mark. I tell everybody. My friend Dee, like, my mama know your mama, girl.
Yeah. they all up there hanging out, having a good time, right?
Because I feel like, honestly, God puts people in your life for a reason.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that I'm close to, my friends, we've lost moms. We've lost dads. We've lost somebody like close to us. We've lost. And I'm like, we need each other. We need each other because we understand the shit. We understand it, you know? We understand it.
Agreed. And I do think, you know, I know, of course, people can have sympathy and empathy for you. And that's true. That's 100% true. But we all know that it doesn't hit home till it hits home. Mm-hmm. People have a whole different perspective when it happens to them. Is very, very different. So, you know, I'm sure that Shelly and Miss Winona are up there kicking it.
And my mom really wasn't a drinker either, D-Man.
She wasn't having a skosh.
I don't know.
My mom, she wasn't like a heavy drinker, but okay, so people ask, like, why don't you drink? And there are two reasons why I don't drink. Two main reasons why I don't drink. One, remember that uncle I told you about a long time, you know, earlier in the
him.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, he would come home midday drunk, bruised up from fighting and just stupid stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I don't want to end like that. You know, being sick, throwing up and that stuff. And the one time, I mean, I've tasted alcohol. Probably, I can honestly say I tasted alcohol on probably 4 occasions in my life. The first time I ever tasted it was there was a party at our house. They were playing Pinochle. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember they were playing Pinochle. And I saw this purple liquid in my mom's cup, and I was like, "Ooh, grape juice!" And I took a little bit more than a skosh. And my mom was like, "Boy," that's me on my hand and whooped me. Like, "Get up out of here!" I was like, "Ugh, what was that? That's nasty." And then it took some years later and understood that was obviously probably some alcohol, some wine, or something that she had in there.
It was Moby David.
Yeah, it was something in there, and so yeah, that's the reason why I don't drink. But yeah, she's probably up there, probably sipping, having her own little skosh.
Yeah, and she probably gave my mama a skosh because she wasn't open.
They're having their skoshes together.
She would keep wine in the refrigerator, and they just stay there. And my teenage mind, I'm like
you now.
Yeah, now my teenage mind, I'm like, she ain't gonna drink that. So in my head, I'm like, I can take this frozen fruit and blend up something good. And I was drinking that shit. And she came home and she was like,
"You been drinking
somebody
my wine?
been drinking my wine." I was like, "That's your drunk ass best friend always coming over here. She drinking your wine." And then years later, she go, "You know, I know it was you drinking wine." I was like, yes, it was me. But let me tell you about the drink I blended up in your blender.
That's a fond memory.
Yeah, very fond memory
of you and your mother, right? And you all have kind of been talking about this. I mean, I love the way that you all are sharing your stories very organically, and I appreciate that from both of you. Did either of you go through any type of like formalized counseling, like for grief or talking to somebody? And I mean, you know, D, both you realize you mentioned that you had people around you that you could talk to, but you felt alone. Yeah. And like, I understand that. I get that. Oh, we're getting a raid. Okay, thank you, Raiders. Come on in, swell.
Raiders.
Hey, Raiders. I love it. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. But I'm gonna let you go first. Did you ever do any? And I'll say this. Let me say this as a person who does counseling. It's a very individualized thing because, sometimes people feel like they can navigate on their own, and counseling is not a need for them. Okay. So please understand, when I ask this question, this is not a judgment question. This is just me asking, because sometimes the counseling can come from people close to you, or the counseling can come from some other form. There's lots of ways to be counseled. It's not always sitting there talking to a person. So, London, what would you?
Nope.
She said nope.
Okay, so I did have the hospice place call.
Okay.
They're like, yeah, we're just checking in, see if you want to come and do grief therapy. And I was just so irritated with the world. I was like, nope.
Not irritated with the world.
I was,
okay.
But I should have.
Okay.
And the reason I say I should have, because it came out in other ways. Like I said, I would be at my mama's plot every day crying, damn near. And then she was not very close, and I did that for a reason. Because in my head, for some reason, I was like, girl, if you decide you want to do the Thriller and walk back, you're going to walk far.
What?
Did you say young head?
Wait.
Yes.
You gotta hit
the Thriller.
The Thriller.
She was gonna be.
They was like, bury her in the cemetery down the street. I said, hell no, because my thoughts was this: I didn't want to have to drive past that cemetery to go home all the time. And then I was like, that way, that if she decide, her and my dad, they're in the same cemetery along with the rest of the film, they want to do the Thriller. They have to walk from almost 200 and something to here, and I have time to leave. It was a joke. It was funny, but in my head, I was thinking this shit real. But I used to drive all the way there very often to
Y'all, I'm floored. I'm speechless.
Very often to visit my mom. Like,
you never told me this. Like, you never told me the Thriller thing.
Well, you're here today. I kid you not. You got, for some reason, in my head, I'm like, listen, if she decides to come back, she got to have a long fucking way to get to me. Okay? And I would pray like, Lord, Mom, don't pop up on me. Don't do that. I'm scary as hell. Don't do that to me. And then I'm like, she wouldn't do that, but just in case, I'm gonna bury her.
Wow.
Because remember, my mother first wanted to be cremated, which I wish she did let me cremate her, because it would have been a little bit easier than seeing my mom in the casket.
Gotcha. I understand that.
But she was like, you know what, baby? I want a funeral. Now, mind you, this is towards the left. I'm like, what, Mama? What are you talking about to me right now? And she's like, yes, make me real pretty. Put me in pink for the breast cancer.
Okay.
And I'm like, although I'm hearing her in my head, I'm like, I'm so damn mad at you right now. I'm like, but I respected her wishes, and I did what she wanted me to do. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to do that, and my wishes is to be cremated, because I was like, I don't want you to walk past a casket and see me. I want you to put me up there in the urn, and y'all have good memories and talk shit about me and drink and be merry and percolate and all that stuff. Okay? And then when ashes, you do what you if you want. I did tell him, I was like, I don't think I want to be on your mantelpiece.
Right.
But put me somewhere, just put me in the ocean. Something. Yeah, I'm gone, you know? Yeah. But the hardest thing is to walk past the casket for me. It was hard to see her in that casket, and I felt like she wasn't supposed to be there. And here I am going back almost every day, every week to this plot that in my head, that's why I left my mom, because I'm not getting it, And my aunt was like, she just let me go. I just let you go. And I would go and literally cry my eyes out It will be cold as hell in Chicago. I would go with my foot and a shovel and find my mother's headstone and cry at the headstone. And just that happened for so long.
How long did you do that?
Ooh, it was a long time.
Like, are we talking about it like for a year?
Like
Was it a year?
not years, maybe a year and a half.
What made you stop?
It clicked. She wasn't there.
Okay.
She wasn't there. She wasn't there. And I think what added on to it was my grandmother. So
Okay.
I had a double grief thing going on here.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of crazy shit. You know, that's why I said I should have went to counseling, because I was angry. I tried to beat up a couple of people. You know,
You do that now, though.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. It was damaging bad. Like, I almost ruined my relationship with my family because I was attacking.
Maddie said, "Wait, percolate? We percolate?" Yeah, yeah. I mean, y'all can percolate at my thing too. I'm with it.
Right.
There's always time.
I did this whole spending. I'm gonna give you the whole thing. You
Right.
know,
Yeah, I know.
this spending spree where I just bought everything,
Mm-hmm.
wasted shit because I didn't realize that was a form of grief.
Yeah.
I was doing all these crazy shits to get a little bit of happiness for a minute, almost like being on drugs.
Yeah.
This little bit of happiness. And
You were
then-
trying to fill the hole.
Yes, to fill that hole.
Yeah.
To fill that hole. You know, and I even said, I was like, I see how people turn into crackheads. I understand it. Because it's like, you don't know, when you go through some stuff, it can take you there.
Yeah.
So I definitely should have had some type of therapy because I was out there.
Yeah.
I was doing some crazy shit. Y'all ain't want to know me then. I probably would have.
D, same question. Did you go through any type of counseling or?
No, I did not. And I think probably one of the reasons was that, and I think that's another reason why I think I broke down initially at that time. It took some time for it to sink in, was because I had a lot of business I had to take care of at that point.
Yeah,
So
you were in admin mode. That's what I call it.
I was in admin mode because not only with my mom, because her estate wasn't big at all, not even close, but she was in charge of my grandparents' estate. And so it was like I had to now I was in charge of the estate my grandfather was taking care of that was passed on to my mom and then passed on to me. So then I had all this on my plate to kind of deal with. So I had that distraction basically. But my therapy was through music. And music has always been that for me since forever. And so I would hear a song that would speak to me, to say that, okay, my mom is talking to me right now. She's talking to me through this song. Or, I need some advice, and I'll hear a song on the radio that will say something to that. And I'm thinking, okay, she's giving me advice on this. And that was for me, my therapy. Now, could I have done something better, or just something that could have worked out better or made more sense? Probably, but sitting and talking to someone, and same thing, hospice reached out to me a few times, like, hey, we're here for you. Come on in if you want to talk. And I just said, nah, I'm good. I'm working things out. I got, and then of course, I kind of like, listen, I got to work on this estate, and I got to figure all this stuff out. And now I got my crackhead uncle living in a house, and he's not paying the taxes, and I got to deal with that, and da 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 da. And it's like, yeah. So I had a lot of distractions to get me through, but it was really the music that really helped me the most. And like I said, my family, I grew up with a family of singers, and I'm the only person in my family that can't sing. My mom, she was an alto. And what's a below alto? Or what's above or below alto? Can someone help me out with that? Psalmist, I know you're that's what asking psalmist is. But she had her voice in the lower range. Okay, she wasn't like bass or anything like that.
Tenor.
She was in the low tenor. Yeah, tenor and alto. That's where she was at. She was in that range. And so yeah, church solos, that was her thing. And then my grandfather, he should have cut a record. Like I dropped the ball when I was in college of not recording him and putting him on one of my remixes that I did when I was doing remixes back at WZIP. I missed that opportunity. Great voice. My grandmother, she was a soprano, but she was more the keeper in the choir. she was. I love her, but yeah, just let her be the choir voice. But and then my uncle, the crackhead uncle, oh my gosh, he had a beautiful singing voice as well. But I would hear a song that she would sing and just like, all right, I need everyone to shut up and leave me alone. I need to take this in right now. So because of her singing and her love of music and her introducing me to a lot of 70s, 60s and 70s music that she grew up on, and 50s, 60s, 70s music that she grew up on, when I would hear those songs, it would take me back to her, and that was me. That was the healing that I needed. So yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, piggybacking again. Yes.
Mhm.
So he's right. Music. Because y'all know, but that was a big part of my life with my mom was music. A lot of songs that people think that I should not know, I know because of my mom. One of my memories, you were gonna ask this. One of my memories of my mom was, I think it was the London Olympics, and they had Paul McCartney. He came out and he sang "Hey Jude," and so me and my mom was like sitting there. We're doing a little rock, and then it got to na 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 na. So we were up singing, and that was one of the last times that we actually like sang together. Songs that remind me of my what I was going through at that time after my mom passed. And to this day, I cry every time I hear this song, and I don't listen to it very much. But "Stop This Train" by John Mayer. And in the song, he sings, "Stop this train. I want to get off and go home again." And so that's how I felt, like I wanted everything to rewind so I can get off, take me back to where things was good, where mom was here, where it was, everything was good. And then at the end, when he was basically saying that he just wanted everything to be over, his dad came in and spoke to him, telling him this train is never going to end. You got to keep living it. I boo-hoo every time I hear that song. When I think of "Home" by
we talked
Stephanie
about that
Mills, is
one.
one of the songs that I played as she was transitioning. And so when I went to go see, and this is what me and Dee Dee have in common, because that was one of the songs she played with her mom, who also breast cancer, when she was transitioning. And so we went to go see her
And
live.
Dee Dee is one of her really good friends, y'all.
Yeah, that's my girl. We went to go see Stephanie live. We boo-hooed and sing this song, just boo-hooing, because it means so much when you listen to those words, like, pat the bell when you've been blessed. Music helped a lot. It really did. Just to sit there. I would sometimes to this day put my earbuds in and like, shut up, world, and listen to my music all the way up. So yes, music, it definitely helped. It was a form of therapy too. Now but I still need to talk to somebody.
So can I say, since she mentioned her favorite songs, my song, and then I know you probably know this because I don't know why I do this to myself, and I do play it on my stream sometimes.
Yeah.
But
These Three Words by Stevie Wonder. Yep. Yeah. And that hits you.
just thinking about it right now, it's not even playing right now, and I'm already emotional. It's just because I want to say, I love my mom. To her one more time. So I tell my kids all the time I love them. I tell them all the time I love them. But I want to tell my mom I love her one more time. And so yeah, as soon as I get to hear those first few notes, it just hits me, and just like I said, just me just thinking about it.
Yep. That's another one for me too. Where especially when you play it, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And I'm boo-hooing because the words, when you listen to the words of these songs and you have gone through it, it hits. It's like shot to the heart. You're about to cry because it's like you know it. Like you said, I wish just to hear their voice, you know?
Yeah.
And every day, my son goes to sleep. All right, good night, Pooh. He gonna hate that I said that. Good night, Pooh. He's like, good night, Mom. I love you. I love you too. He wakes up, you know, I work from home. And sometimes he wakes me up like, hey, Mom. And I jump up and he'll laugh. He's like, I got you. I'm about to go. I love you. I love you too. I make sure that I tell him that I love him every chance that I get. Because when you've lost and you get someone that's just snatched away, you wish that you can just hear them say, I love you. And we know our mamas love us. They love us.
Yeah.
They love us.
And they can hear you.
And they can hear, because I go, D-Man, I go in that mirror, because I know I look like my mama.
Yes,
People
you do.
might think I'm crazy. I talk to my mama. Just like when my dad passed, I look like him too. I would talk to my dad.
Yeah.
And I wish that I could hear them, but I know they hear me.
Yes.
I know they hear me.
Yes.
I know they hear me. Like, I just wish that I can hear. I even text her number. I would text the number like, Mom, I know you. I wish you would respond. That's how bad it was, because I needed her. One day, somebody text back. Like, hi.
And it wasn't Mom.
I don't know who your mom is, but because I text this whole thing. But she must be an amazing person, but I'm not her. And I explained to them that was used to be her number.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it, you know, certain songs. Whew, I have me in there like in the kitchen like Esther Rowe. Damn.
Yeah.
It hits. And it sometimes can hit hard, especially when you're going through something and you feel like I'm trying to get myself out, but I can't get out of this hole. Mom, I need you. That's been recent for me. I need you. Where are you, Mom? Tell me what to do. I need you. I feel a lot. And now I'm away from my family, and my aunt, you know, is going through what she's going through. And it's like, sometimes I call her. She don't pick up the phone because she don't be by her phone, but I leave a message and I say, Auntie, I need to hear your voice. I need to hear your voice. And I wish I can do that with Mommy. I need to hear your voice. In my dreams, you know.
Yeah.
Because I tell her in a minute, listen, I ain't the one to just be like, hello, and looking around corners and shit. I see that stuff on my TV. I'm not that one unless you ready for me to come see you, literally, because I've had a heart attack. Don't do that to me. But
come through the dream,
the
please.
Dreams, and a lot of times she comes in dreams, you know. Weird as shit dreams, but just the fact of seeing her, you know, my grandmother, I thought she hated me for like a year because I'm like, I had to put her in a nursing home because I couldn't take care of her because she had dementia, and my granny was fighting me, you know. And so when she left, it broke me because here we go. My mom died February 2013. My granny was, I want to say March. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the date.
I think you
the
told me
7th,
because it was very close.
Very close.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And so it's like, here we go again. When I'm gonna dream of you? I dreamed of Mom. Hello, she must hate me. You know, because we used to go toe to toe. You know, me and my granny used to go toe to toe. Like she tried to fight me. Like she must hate me. Christmas Day 2014, I dreamed of her. The weirdest dream. I'm gonna tell y'all this. In my heart, heaven is what they make it. My granny was smoking a cigarette, okay? In her screen door, smoking a cigarette, waiting on me to walk up to her. And I remember running to her and I said, "Where have you been? I've been waiting on you." She didn't say no words to me, but the hug that I felt, I woke up at exactly like 4 something in the morning, around the same time that I got the call that she passed on the day she passed. I woke up and it felt like someone hugged me so tight that my sides, like, you know, they dig in, my sides hurt. And I called my son's dad and I was boo-hooing. And he's like, "Oh my God, what happened? What happened?" And I said, "I think my grandmother came to visit me." And he said, wait. What? I said, it was in my dream. But when I tell you, in Chicago, downstairs where I was on that couch, it's cool down there. I felt so warm and I felt my sides were hurting like I had just been hugged. She was here. And I talked to my aunt. She said she was.
Yeah.
When they visit you in dreams,
It's a visitation.
It's a visitation.
It's a visitation.
They're actually there.
I believe that.
The best time for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe in that. I don't think everything is just a dream. I do believe in visitations, and you know, we're not gonna go down a religious rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We can't, because you believe what you believe.
Yeah.
But I do believe that they have the capability to come back and actually visit us
Like
in this realm.
And your kids sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I swear up there, that's my dad. I swear. Like the way he is, he came here like a little old man. And the way he talks to me, he be like, "Oh, you old."
They fuss like two old people.
He was like, "You old, or you old heifer." And I said, "Heifer, you a hussy." Like we be going back and forth.
They do.
And this is just us in
They
play.
do.
He be like, "What you need now?" Like, but
They
that's
do.
just. I said, "You are so anybody. You're an old man." He'll walk off. But certain things that he said to me, the way he walks and everything, his frame reminds me of my dad. I used to fight with my dad. Like my dad be like, "You stew pigeon." I'd be like, "You a stew pigeon." You know?
So you all see, you all caught that. She's been a snitch from a child. This is the number 2 snitch on Twitch. Fro is still number 1. Still number 1. But this is the number 2 stitch, and she got it honest from a child. So
yeah, I mean it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. It's just
And then the
can't
look
help
comes
herself.
from my mom. Like when I
The London look comes
we'll
from
see certain things, and I'm like,
and there you go.
like
That's the
it
London
just
look.
came naturally, you know. We'll see certain things. She can be sitting over there. I'm like, and she like, and then we crack up laughing because we thinking the same. Like, you see that? That's where it comes from. So it's like memories and things carry on.
Yeah.
That's my dad. He's upstairs. That's my father. My father child.
Your
That's
father,
him.
your father child, your father's son. Your father's son.
And then he was born. My dad passed away on December 2nd, 1995. I went into labor on December 2nd, 2007, and he was born December 5th. And I look at that too.
Yeah.
And when I was in the room, because he was born, he had pneumonia, so he had to go to the NICU. And I remember being in a room by myself because I was tired, watching the first 48 because that was my show.
And she was talking about watching that before she came over here.
Yeah. And I felt, you know, sometimes you can feel a presence, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like someone was in that room with me, and I just kept looking in the corner, looking around, like someone's here. Someone is here. And so my mom came the next day. I said, "Mama, I just felt like somebody was here." She was like, "Oh, it's your dad." Like it was nothing. "Oh, it's your dad." And I'm like, she said, "Now you know damn well you were not about to have a child, and he didn't come and look after that baby."
Ah.
So it's like,
See?
I don't know.
See?
But that child's my dad's son.
I tell you. So I'm gonna ask you all this. And I do want us to kind of talk about what's coming up, but since both of you all have, you know, had to navigate this journey with your moms, and if you had to give a word of advice, I guess, to someone who's out there in the chat, listening, lurking, about helping a loved one navigate through breast cancer. And both of you all mentioned things that maybe you wish you had done a little bit differently. What would you do? And I'm gonna start with you on this one, D-Man. What would be your words of advice for helping somebody navigating through this?
I would say, I mean, obviously, you need to take care of them in the best way possible, as far as health wise, doing the right thing as far as treatments and whatnot. But honestly, I would say it's always about quality of life versus quantity. The quantity is because of our selfish needs. We want them to be here forever,
Yes.
and we should be thinking about quality as far as what's best for them. How do they feel? Um, if my mom said, and I'm not saying she did this and I didn't do this, but if she said, I want to go hang gliding, then let her go hang gliding.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctors are not going to like that, but hey, you know what? That's what she wants to do,
Yeah.
and let's give her that quality of life of going hang gliding. Um, that would probably be my main thing, because when I look back, um, and it was really tough for me, because and hearing London's story, tough for her as well, I would assume, is that because they declined so fast, it was like when we got to that point, we're like, oh, okay, this could be the end. We're getting closer to the end. It wasn't time to, we didn't have time to do stuff for her, do what she wanted. But the little things that we could do, like, like bring in music in, play her favorite songs, or hey, she wanted to watch a certain movie, and we'll go get the, VHS or DVD and pop that in for her to watch. But yeah, listen to what they say, listen to what they want to do. You may be like, ah, that's not a no, but then no, this is what they want to do,
Yeah.
and respect what they want to do.
Okay, London, what would you add to
It's
that?
kind of the same. I do say, because we try to keep them here for ourselves, and we don't think of what the body is really going through.
Right.
So I push the fight. Fight. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. Well, we have to know when they're tired.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I wish, and this is advice to other people, that when they said that it came back, I didn't push so much. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. I wish I could have just let it just go when it could, how it could have quit, what it was supposed to do. That way I would have had more time to really talk to my mom. My mom went into the hospital walking and talking, and she came back a vegetable. And that was within 4 days. I wish, and then me talking to other people who dealt with it, they say, oh yeah, the same thing happened to my sister-in-law, where it spread to this part, and then they did the radiation in the brain, and she declined. It was like she was gone within a day. It was so quick. And they were saying the same thing. Like, I wish I just had said, okay, listen to them, make it their decision, don't push the fight. Because I feel like if I hadn't did we gotta fight, mom would have just been like, okay, all is well, And yes, it would still be a hospice or things like that, but it would have gone naturally, I guess you can say, where it wouldn't have been within a week or two. Boom, they're gone, I also say, look at all options when it goes to the treatment. Read up on things, because sometimes when we hear cancer, it's like automatically, your mind stops working. Look into other things to help with boosting strength, immunity, cancer killing things, because they have it out there, they do
Natural alternatives.
natural alternatives. Even if you decide to do / both, something that'll help to keep moving, yeah, that's the advice that I would give. And also, reach out to people and tell them you need help. That's a hard thing for me.
Yeah.
That you need help. Because I also felt that when I was taking care of her, I didn't have many people to come and help me. I had my cousin, she could. And she was the ride or die. She was there, you know. But I felt like it was just me, you know. I had to do everything. I had to roll her over. I had to do everything. And that can be really hard back to only child.
Yeah.
That can be really hard.
Being a caregiver is
when you
tough.
having a caregiver and like I said, you seeing that person that's your mule, you know, they strong. And then it's like slowly just fizzling. They're just going. Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
And you don't get a break, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're the only child every day. So I say reach out to get help, even if it's not family, even if you have to bring in other people more often, like nurses and things like that. Because the company, they don't come as often as I thought that they would, like every day. It wasn't an everyday thing. So it was everything on me. You're going to need that help.
Yeah.
You're going to need that break. You're going to need that, let me just step out and get a fresh air, you know.
Yeah.
You're going to need that. And I never had that. It was every day for me. Every day.
And it is a lot.
Mhm.
It is definitely a whole bunch. I just, you know, you all have touched upon so many things. I mean, and I hope that everybody listening, watching is receiving this. And one of the key things that I feel like both of you all touched upon was kind of having that conversation with the person about what they want. Because I think that's really critical about how they move forward, how they transition, their care. And too often we don't have those conversations because, and both of you all said it, and, you know, I can even say from personal experience, you know, we're so focused on what we want. We don't want this person to go. But it's one of the greatest gifts, and Tab spoke to it earlier in the chat. It's one of the greatest gifts you can give a person is to just sit with them and say, what do you want to do? What do you want to do next? How do you want to proceed with this? And it's just grace and love and peace, and probably one of the best things you can do for their spirit, and believe it or not, for your own. Even though it doesn't feel like it, it's hard in that moment. And I really appreciate you all sharing that. I appreciate you all coming on and sharing everything that you have. Exclamation point BFAC. And yeah, that's my donation link, but please, whatever you can donate to this cause so that we can have less of these stories.
All right. Less
mamas, less sisters, less brothers, okay? Right. Because men are, you know, susceptible to breast cancer as well. Less aunts and uncles and nieces and all the women that we know. So we can eradicate this. We can eliminate it, period. And the next time we sit down and talk, we can be talking to Dman about his Scosh and battle mode and Maya's bowling and London can be in here calling y'all mofos. And, you know, that we can have lighter, more pleasant conversations. And this is an important conversation because we need to discuss these things. And somebody put in the chat earlier, I don't know who it was, said it's so important that we are having these conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This was definitely pleasant. Even though it was sad, it was pleasant to share our experience and to hear the things that we have in common, you know, with that, you know. I'm not happy, joy, but it was pleasant to be able to
share it and release it.
To release it to people who understand, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Most definitely. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna admit I was thrown off. I thought I was gonna be able to come in here and be so I was going to be such the facilitator. And I wasn't going to get emotional, but
We pulled you down that rabbit hole.
I did.
And down
I
with it.
did. I admit that I did because, I've lost 2 people very close to me from cancer. So, it was, I had some moments. And I didn't
Honestly,
expect to have any. I'm not going to say any, but, I just thought, okay, I'm going to be over here and I'm going to be drinking my drink and, doing, and I'm going to be doing this thing. But I want to say thank you to both of you all for willing to come on.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that very much. Cruz said we heard you sniffling.
Yeah. But crying is good. Like honestly,
Yeah,
like
it is.
I know I'm gonna cry on these 3 words, and I
Yeah.
play it on purpose because I need that cry.
Yep.
Yes.
I need that release.
Yes.
And and like I said, just out the gate, London just going through the initial intro of when you had her talk, I'm thinking, holy crap, we're like 5 minutes into this and I'm already like bawling. I'm like, and it's like, but it's a good cry, and it's like I'm not and
Yeah.
I'm not afraid or ashamed to cry in front of you all. You guys see me cry many times. It doesn't make me any less manly or anything like that. It's just that I'm a human being and I have
You're
feelings,
human.
and it doesn't have to be. I wasn't crying because of my mom. I hate hearing stories about people losing family members to this disease, and then hearing the stories and like hearing London's is like, wow, it's really she really relates to what I went through. And that's the whole reason why I do Beats for a Cure. And it's like I really have that passion to try to end this disease. I know I can't do it by myself. Hopefully within our lifetime it will happen. Maybe not, but hopefully we can get that, the foundation, put that brick in that foundation and say, hey, you know what? We did our part to help get this disease, taken care of in the next decade, 2 decades, whatever it is, or hopefully next week, it comes around. But we are putting up a fight, and I'm putting up a fight, and I appreciate you guys being in my corner and helping me with this fight. So yeah, please donate. Links in the chat. Donate to Lisa because she doesn't want to be DAL, and she's not going to be DAL.
I do not. I do not.
Ain't worried about that.
I don't want to be DFL by any stretch. I wasn't last year, and I thank everybody for that. I really do. I mean that from the bottom of my panky bra. That I appreciated that. But D, take this moment, please. First of all, I want to ask, does anybody have any questions? And you all have been very interactive in the chat, and I appreciate your support. Do you all have any questions in the chat for either London or D or both, either, that you want to ask? And then both of them, right? And then I want D to kind of talk about the upcoming events. We got a lot going on. We got North and South this year. I'm so proud of that. Yeah. But does anybody have any questions? If they do, and then I'm going to ask you all to kind of share your final thoughts, and then we'll let D go into what we got coming up. Any?
Oh, I was looking for the questions.
Yeah, I'm checking for that part. I got that part covered. You go ahead and
my final thought.
Yeah, your final.
This was a fantastic ass show. No, for real. This is a great show. Like I said, this is my first time really speaking out publicly about my mom and my experience. Thank you for having me.
We get to see you in a whole different capacity, right?
But it's about the time, but I ain't gonna leave it
I
without doing it.
know you'll be back. Saying, hey, folks.
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say what I need to say. If anyone ever has any questions, hit me up in a whisper or DM, or if you have my number, text me. If you're going through it, if you are a child that's a caregiver, I have no problem talking to anyone because I needed somebody to talk to me. So yeah, like I said, thank you for the opportunity. D-Man.
Last words with London, right?
I think I'm gonna look and see if I have anybody with the same last name in my family. I do have family in Cleveland, but it's something there. But like I said, me and your mama and my mama up there kicking
Yeah,
it.
y'all are. If nothing, I mean, we're all spiritually connected, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all family. We're all brothers and sisters and mamas and daddies and children and all of that stuff. But Dee, do you have any final words that you want to add on our discussion before we get into what's coming up with BFAC?
Yeah, this was great. I love the whiteboard of your mind. Like, yeah, you have some great stuff on there, and you got some crazy stuff on there too. But you got some great stuff on there as well.
Yeah,
so.
I
and
do.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. I take it all in.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was amazing. Once again, just talking about this, and it's funny because I do talk about this every year, and there's random Tuesdays I talk about it.
Right.
So yeah, this is definitely not the first time you guys have heard me, speak on this. But every time I talk about it, it means a lot to me. So I don't take, talk about, my life with her and her life and just, what we're doing for granted and just like, okay, just feel like I'm repeating myself. But no, every time I talk about it, that passion is there. And I love, keeping her name, her spirit out there and sharing all the great things, that we've done, from being lost in the car together and her crying and this pre-GPS. I'm like, Mom, we're gonna make it home. We're gonna be okay. And her making her first birthday cake for me that had the icing like this thick and it was like super hard and I couldn't cut through it. And Halloween coming up and how she would dress me up in different costumes and do contests. And so yeah, just talk about her and just talking about our moms like this is a great thing. So thank you, Lisa, for opening up the your platform for us because we love our moms and we want to talk about our moms and I'm glad, London, you got a chance to share your mom with the Twitch world. So thank you as well.
Thank you both.
Yes, and thank you for thinking of us because we
Yeah.
always hear about the breast cancer survivors and the people are fighting.
Yes.
But not too many focus in on the children or the caregivers
Right.
of it, in any
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure to do this, and I'm happy that you both agreed. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say that both of you all y'all got to be two of my most favorite people in the whole world.
I know, girl.
You really are. Like I see you. I see you both. And I appreciate you.
And one thing my mama said, surround yourself with like souls. And I have lived by that, I'm like, that's a like soul. Let me latch on to him. Let me latch on to her. That energy brings, it's everything.
Yeah.
When you're like souls, it's like, yeah, I used to do that. My mama did that too, yeah, girl. It's like a common thing, especially when you don't have siblings. You surround yourself with like souls. My mother was an only child, and my grandmother was an only child too.
Wow! And then you have one child.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That is something I didn't realize that. I didn't realize it went that far back.
And I broke it because it was all girls.
And you
gotta
had
have
the
a
boy. And you
I
had
was
the
like,
boy.
I had the boy. You gotta have another one. Nope. That's
Having that boy is tough enough. It is tough enough for sure. Yeah.
I want to give a special thanks to the chat too, because you all have been so supportive. You've been putting hearts in the chat. You have been engaged. I feel like you're here with us, and I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, Natty. Thank you to Cruz. Thank you to Locke for holding this down. I mean, I just thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all know I do a lot of crazy shit on here, and we got slideshows that I'll be on the verge of getting kicked out for. And all manner of things happen here, but Thank you.
And I was about to. Oh my God! I was just about to say he didn't turn the lights off, and
Damn
then
it!
I
Damn
jinxed it in my
it!
You
head.
can. I leaned over to try to see
Damn
if like see
it!
me.
I mean, almost made it, right? Almost made it, but not quite.
Saylock, that's my mind. You better turn those lights back on.
But I am very grateful that you all are here and you entertain my whiteboard. The good, the bad, the ugly, the insane. I'm just gonna say, wait till next week because
And that's why the lights go off.
there will be a sideshow because it's gonna be my pre-Halloween show, October 23rd. Get ready for the antics. I already been down the rabbit hole on pumpkin carving pictures, y'all. Y'all, I'm just giving you the little preview, man.
Pumpkin.
I done seen some pumpkins. I'm like, ooh, wait till
I will be missing
show
that show.
them.
I will be missing that show.
Yes, it's the pre-Halloween show. But I want to tell you that my Beats for a Cure show is coming up on October 30th. That is my official Beats for a Cure show. I've already been looking at some wonderful books to read to you all. Just saying.
Real quick. I came across a book today. I saw on Facebook or something like that, and I thought of you, London. And
Okay.
The title was "Mom and Dad Wanna."
Okay.
It's basically the kids walking in on the parents, and they're like, "Yeah, we need our time. Get out of here." And I thought about you, and I came across that book, London.
Wait a minute.
That sounds fabulous.
Yeah, it does sound fabulous. You need to send me that. You need to send me that. I need to know about that. Missy Bond said, "Will Brown Whiskey Woman be bad next week?" Found out on the next
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my God! Thank you, Missy Bond. So D, first of all, you get to pick the raid. You get to pick where we're going to go.
Let's see
But also you get to take us out on what's coming up next. We got Beats for a Cure in North, NORF, and South, SOUF, live coming up. But tell us what's coming up while you looking. I'm putting you on multitask.
Because no one pronounces
we're
the
gonna show the
THs in those words.
flyers and see what's coming up. We got a whole schedule now. Super excited about it. Still a little FOMO, but please donate, y'all. Please don't make me DFL. Don't let me be DFL, please.
You motherfuckers better donate. I'm here today. I'm not playing. Exclamation point. All that donate.beatsforacure.org /Brown _whiskey woman well, you know what you see it.
Look it now.
Donate beatsforacure.org /DJ _Dman. Y'all know what it is. Y'all better donate. I ain't playing.
Please donate. Mackie, thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. And okay, what else we got? What else we talking about here? Exclamation point, believe. That's Team Claudie. Okay, so that's for M. Claudie. Make sure you're donating. She is currently traversing her journey with breast cancer. You can buy a t-shirt to support, or you can do a direct donation. Okay, D-Man, tell them about Beats for a Cure. Tell them what we doing, what we got going on.
Excellent. Yeah. So once again, shout out to M. Claudie, love and hearts to her, and lockdown. They're going through that. So yeah, please support that as well. So, I'm definitely down and will get me a shirt or something to support that. So please support her. North and South. So we've always had, well, not always, but this is our second year having a live event and here in Cleveland. And, we decided we're gonna up the ante and actually have both a North and South event. So our North event's in Cleveland. Our South event is in Atlanta. Give you the lineup for the North event. We got DJ Tila, the Party Rocker KFG, Lily Jade. She's 12 years old, doing big things out there, and she'll be there at the spot. DJ Vader, DJ Drake, Nita Don, DJ Bizon, Alex Mejia, DJ Aquaria, who was in the chat a little bit earlier, Champ Lifestyle DJ, and the legendary DJ from UTFO, Mixmaster Ice, will be in the building here in Cleveland, and that is on October 25th. So next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, next Saturday. So we're getting close. But on the flip side, down in Atlanta, we're going to have Club for 10. But either way, you're supporting a great cause. If you want to get tickets, go to beats4cure.org for the North. And if you want to get tickets for the South event, go to freshradioshow.com. And you can get the tickets there for the South event. Whichever one you go to is all going to one great cause to help in breast cancer. So please, please, please support. And of course, then the raid train will be kicked off at the end of the live event. And then we'll be jumping right into the raid train. I believe the first DJ is DJ Swirls. I could be wrong. I think he's the first one that's on the raid train. And then we're going to go 24 hours for a whole week straight. And like I said, our goal this year is 75,000. And we already got donations coming in. So let's keep pushing that goal so we can hit that goal. And I said, I want to at least get to 50 so we can hit that $300,000 mark. But we're going to hit 75. I already know that. So just keep your support. Once again, if you've donated, thank you. Please share it with your friends and family. Have them donate. The more people know about that, the bigger we can go. And I see Elvis in the chat. He is the headliner. He's going to be holding things down. It's going to make us all have FOMO not being in Atlanta because he's going to tear it up on purpose so that he's going to totally show his ass the whole entire time. So I already know that.
LB, I got a question for you, but I hit you up. I got a question. Anyway, but yes, this is the schedule. Everybody, please take a good look at that. And you see K-Lock is on there at 10 p.m., right? But you see this entire lineup kicking off. Then we got Monday's lineup. Look at that, y'all. Action-packed, right? Action. And just, D-Man, please tell them when you have like the overnight and it has Beats for a Cure, please tell them what to expect during those.
So on the overnight, we're going to be having replays of the live event, both the North event and the South event on certain days. And then we'll also have testimonials. So a lot of the DJs that are part of Beats for Cure send in videos. And so I'll be playing those videos during that time, along with some other informational videos as well. But those testimonial videos are amazing. Just hearing the DJs talk about, we have a couple of survivors talking about their journey. And then obviously, people who were caregivers for their, family and friends and family. So even if, please tune in. If anyone wants to hop on for overnight, please let me know. Play those videos during that time.
So D, have you okay? I'm just laughing at LB to my funk that. But this is the schedule. I am on the 30th. So that's going to be my official pre-Halloween. I'm at 8:00 from 8 to 10, and then we'll raid into DJ Big Al. So I am super excited, and I just will say for the record, yes, Panky will make an appearance on that show. Just saying, okay? And she might make an appearance someplace else. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. That's all I'm gonna put out there. I have told D-Man, just listen, just because I'm not gonna physically be there at the North event, don't think that Panky is not gonna be present because
Don't tell me Panky got a plane
gonna
ticket.
happen. Panky is gonna.
My head's
gonna
be
be
on a
there.
swivel. I'm gonna be watching.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably gonna be watching.
My goodness. Real quick, because he's in the chat.
Yes.
Hey,
K Marie.
LV and seeing Mama Barnes together when she comes on the show, I love seeing that. Big Stove and Mama Stove when she's on the show or when she comes to OMU, I love seeing that. If my mom was still around, she would be right there and there with them, having a great old time because she liked to kick it. And and I love to see their bonds with their moms and how their moms supporting their journey here on Twitch and in the DJ world. That's amazing. So shout out to Mama Barnes, shout out to Mama Stove for holding their parents for holding their kids down, and it warms my heart when I see that. So yeah, beautiful.
Most definitely. And y'all, everybody in the chat, if your mom is still around, go hug her.
Yes.
Go give her a kiss on the cheek. Tell her you love her. And if she ain't, tell her you love her. Okay? Mm-hmm. Tell her you love her because she can hear you. But I think, one of the most important things that we got out of this is, tell people you love them. Tell people you love them. Don't be afraid to say, I love you. Don't be afraid to show that. And I always say love is a verb.
Hey, Lisa, I love you.
I love you. I love you too. I love both of you. Locke, I love you.
Hey, Locke, I love you too, brother.
I love
you. I love you too, big head.
and I love all of you all in the chat again. Thank you. So D-Man, where are we going? Where are we rating out to?
Initially, I was going to say Tila because she's going to be at the live event and on the raid, but I saw Tally in here.
Okay.
Tally the DJ, and he's been my right-hand man as far as like the business side of Beast 4QR, and he's been doing a lot. And we have an event coming up in March for prostate cancer. And he's been a big part on that. So let's give Tally some love because we need to boost his numbers up because he's doing some good stuff.
Yeah, he is, and y'all, Tally is just such a cool person, right? If you've never met Tally, he's such a cool person. I mean, he's so knowledgeable. He's such an intellectual, but then he's fun as hell, right? Like he's all of that. He's just such a cool guy. Yeah, he really is. He's super cool. So y'all make sure that you're supporting in terms of donations, wherever you choose to give your donations. If you're here in Atlanta, please come to the live event. If you're going to go to Cleveland, please go to Cleveland and support. I will see y'all next week. I will be back on the 23rd in my Halloween regalia with a lovely slideshow. Just for y'all. Just for y'all. Locke is over there twitching. He's like,
He's still
But again, we're raiding out. We're on the way out. But London, thank you. D-Man, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed this conversation and you got something valuable out of it. And tell the folks around them that you love them. Okay. Cruz, Natty, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate you.
And I would like to end the show by saying,
as we raid out, final thoughts by London Michelle.
I love all of you motherfuckers.
Y'all thought she wasn't gonna say it, but she said it.
And all you motherfuckers have a good night.
Absolutely love it. I absolutely. And D-Man, you will be on Tuesday? Yes?
Yes, Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, 9 a.m. Y'all be there. Okay? Yep. All right. So we will see y'all. Bye. Love ya. All of that good stuff. As we ride on out. Brian, I said, love you too, London.
Love you too, girl. Sis, boo.